Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Monday, the 17th day of August. It's National Nonprofit Day today, so it's a good day to maybe even donate to a nonprofit, which would be cool. National Massachusetts Day. National Thrift Shop Day. Oh, Heidi's a big fan.
I love thrift stores.
That's one of her favorite things. Go find bargains. Black Cat Appreciation Day and National I Love My Feet Day. So it's a good day to love your feet. And I know there's a lot of folks listening that love this young lady. It's a Movie Star Monday. We're going to chat with Danica McKellar. Remember her growing up on, was it the Growing, what was the name of the show?
Wonder Years.
Wonder Years. I don't know how to say Growing Pains. That doesn't sound right.
She's adorable. She's still adorable.
Absolutely. I'm super excited to chat with her. That's coming up in just a bit on this Movie Star Monday.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. The new way is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day, or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-659-7805. That's 800-659-7805.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A survey from Crispy Green found that 4 in 5 parents are considering homeschooling their kids this year. And that is the highest.
Yep, I don't blame them.
Well, and that's the highest that number's ever been, 4 in 5 parents.
Yeah,
and it's
that's huge.
It's different reasons for different people, too. So there's some people that are just going, I want to be the one shaping my child's mind. And there's others that are going, I don't know if it's safe for them to be going. So for whatever the reason, 4 in 5 parents considering homeschooling their children this year. I've got a link to the story, by the way, if you want to read all about it. That is in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. If you have a credit card, our friends at BetterCreditCards.com would like to make sure it's the best credit card for you. Take a few minutes to look at your current interest rate and then see what you get for points and perks. Then go to BetterCreditCards.com to see if they can help you find a better credit card. This will literally cost you nothing, and it could help you save money by getting a better credit card. Even if you don't have a credit card right now, you can check it out too at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com. This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by Time4Rehab.com. An Australian bar owner could be fined for breaching their COVID-19 social distancing rules when he was found at his club with 4 other people on his birthday. A place called...
4 people?
Well, here's the thing. It was called Showgirls Bar 20, and it's a place known for, women who take their clothing off. Anyway, the club owner, on his birthday, Saz Nazimi, said his client was conducting a job interview. That's all. There were 3 people there. But supposedly then an uninvited birthday cake just showed up. Somebody showed up, so he was trying to explain, what were you guys doing in here? You're not supposed to be doing this right now. And he's like, oh, no, this was just, I was just doing an interview with this one lady, and these 2 showed up with a cake. And anyway, the whole thing seems really weird to me. But I've got a link to the story. This could have been our weird news today, but since it happened at a bar, I thought, you know what? I think it probably belongs here. That is what happens when your brain is on drugs. Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. The trailer for Saved by the Bell, the revival, has been released, and it's drumming up a lot of nostalgic feelings for fans of the original teen TV sitcom. Did you watch Saved by the Bell?
I did not.
That was a little beyond, too late for me.
Yeah, it was kind of coming out when we were already out of the whole
so I was
teeny bopper
I knew what
shows.
It was, but the reboot is set to debut on NBC Universal's new streaming service, Peacock. The full released trailer came out last week, and I've got a link to that. Chris Pratt and his wife, Katherine Schwarzenegger, are now proud parents of a baby girl last week.
That's nice.
In addition to the first for Katherine, the new addition, is the first for Katherine and the second for Pratt. He has a 7-year-old son, Jack Pratt, from his previous marriage to Anna Faris. So there you go. That's going to do it for your big screen, little screen report, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
If you take Viagra or Cialis, call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill. plus free discreet shipping.
Call 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. Again, that's 800-214-7977.
Now your scoop of the day. It comes your way courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. The price of a gallon of gasoline is expected to remain low through the end of the year. And I see people like snapping photos at gas pumps at, the price, and they're like exclaiming how affordable. Oh, look at this. I paid this much.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Usually when that happens, it's because it's too high.
Right.
So they're like, hey, look.
It's a nice change of pace, isn't it?
I'm going to just leave my car run all night long. No, maybe not that. Two Michigan boys found a wallet stuffed with more than $500 in cash, and rather than just keeping it, they turned it into the police.
Oh, good for them.
An amazing story. This could have been our good news, and I almost made it our good news. The Wayland Police Department announced on their Facebook page last week that they were making the boys, Logan Miss Ho, age 14, and Austin Nicholas, age 13, honorary, quote, citizens of the day for their good deed.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't have any more details than that. So if I do get more details, that might end up being our good news at the end of the program. Not today, but another day. I just thought that was such a great story. And so many times when there are kids, with police, it's not because they did something good. So I'm glad that this 13 and 14-year-old did something awesome, which is just a great, great story. Less satisfied people are at work, the more likely they are to lie to others. What's that?
The less satisfied people are at work,
the less satisfied people are at work, the more likely they are to lie to others. Okay, according to a recent survey, 1,000 people, 41% say they are not satisfied at work, and they say they tell at least one white lie a week, which is more than those who are happy at work. And the common lie that most colleagues tell each other,
okay,
I'm not feeling well, or I already have plans. When they're like, hey, do you want to go out for a drink after work? Yeah, I'm not feeling good. You want to go out for a drink? Yeah, I've already got other plans. Meanwhile, they drive home and eat a pint of ice cream.
Well, if you're not happy at work, you don't want to hang out with your coworkers.
Yeah, probably. I could see that. A Japanese man sustained serious injuries when a small dog fell on him from a 9th-story apartment.
Oh,
yeah.
Poor little doggy.
The man was... And poor guy. Just want to point that out as well. Police say the man was walking down the street when a dog was up looking out a window. It lost its balance in the windowsill and fell, and it hit the man on the shoulder. The man sustained back injuries. Sadly, no word on what happened to the dog.
Well, I doubt the dog's okay.
Well, I would hope that the dog would be okay, but it doesn't say in the story. So I'm going to just wish the best and say that dog probably got up and
falling 9 stories.
And just
I don't
said,
know.
Sorry about that, sir. Probably not. And one last story here. Job applicants who drink alcohol are perceived as less intelligent and less hireable by American employers. So if you do that at your job interview, saying that's... I actually remember talking to a guy who said that he would purposely have like interviews at a place that had alcohol on the menu.
To see if they would order.
Yeah. You want a drink? And then he would always ask the candidate first and see what they would order, and then he would order, something else. But I thought, well, that's an interesting idea. But he said you wouldn't believe how many times they would get a drink at 3:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, that's kind of entrapment. That's not right.
Entrapment. All right, that's going to do it for your scoop of the day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Nobody wants to buy car insurance. It's not a fun thing to think about, but it's something you need if you want to drive your car. So even if you don't want to buy insurance, you probably have to get it from someone. So why not buy it from InsuranceChicken.com? Okay, I'll admit, our website name is dumb. InsuranceChicken.com. Yeah, our marketing department is not that great. But our selection of insurance options is amazing. See if we can save you money each month on our dumb website, InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Super excited to visit right now with Danica McKellar. Now, Danica, we all watched you grow up on The Wonder Years as Winnie. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am fantastic. You got this new thing. We're talking about the Times Machine because this is something that is kind of near and dear to you, isn't it?
Yeah. So after The Wonder Years, I graduated from high school a couple months after The Wonder Years ended, and I went to UCLA, and I took a break from acting and got a degree in mathematics. And I love math, and then after I got my degree in math, I missed acting, and I went back to acting, and I did The West Wing, and And since then, of course, I've been doing all my Hallmark Channel movies. But I love math so much, and I loved entertainment so much that I wanted to help kids and parents by writing entertaining math books. I wrote books that I wish that I'd had when I was growing up, and I've had a great time doing it. I've been writing McKellar math books now for 13 years in between all my acting projects. It's always an interesting challenge, especially lately. I'll be writing a book, I'll turn in a draft, and then I'll fly to Canada to shoot a movie for Hallmark, and then I come back, and by the time I get back, my editor has written all the notes for me, and now I'm going to go back and do a revision, and it's just like this back and forth. But it's so gratifying because I absolutely love hearing how I can help kids who are afraid of math and not be afraid of math anymore, and they're finding it fun and entertaining. And this book, The Times Machine, is my 10th math book that came out this week. I'm so proud, and I'm so grateful for the timing of it because this is a time that's unprecedented in history of parents being more responsible for their kids' education than ever before, and it was just thrown at them. These parents didn't ask for it. I've been homeschooling my child for a long time, and so this has not been a transition for me so much. But wow, so many parents have been reaching out to me over the last few months, and so much so that actually a couple months ago, I created some videos that are tips that I've learned, things homeschooling my child, little methods, little tricks for helping kids stay focused or make it more fun and make it more engaging. And all of those I have on my Instagram page. If you go to my Instagram profile, on that front page, there are those circles called highlights, and on one of the highlights is called School at Home. And so a couple months ago, I made these videos to help parents in response to all the requests. I thought, you know what, I bet there are a lot more people who I haven't even heard from who are really needing help. So those tips are good for any subject. And I'm really glad to be able to put those up. Yeah, I just feel like, look, this has been such a crazy time, and there's so much, big emotion. For me, it's just really, it's a focusing element to be able to help people. Okay, you know what? This is a crazy world. I don't know what's going on, but here's something I can do. I can help parents, and I can help them with their homeschooling, and I can help them have fun with math and actually have success for their child and be entertained. Because you know what? When you're laughing, you can't be afraid. Those two things don't go together.
Absolutely.
When you're laughing, you can't be stressed. And then the other thing a parent says, hey, look, the math looks different now. The techniques are different, and that's true. Back in 2011, they started something called Common Core, and there was a revolution for math. Everything changed, mostly for elementary school, not so much middle school and high school, but elementary school. It looks different. Parents come up to me saying, I can't help my 7-year-old with her homework. What's going on? So in both the Times Machine, which is 2nd to 5th grade multiplication and division, and its prequel, which is called Do Not Open This Math Book.
I love that.
One is for first and second graders for addition and subtraction. In both books, since the math is so different, I have in the back a new math translation guide for grown-ups.
Oh, nice.
Which helps to, because the vocabulary is different too. There's no more borrowing and carrying. It's regrouping, and there's a lot of emphasis on place value charts and things. So, and then throughout both books, I'll do the problems both ways. So I'll do it the new way they're teaching it, breaking it down, making it super easy and totally, relatable and accessible, and then also doing it the way we learned it, and then showing how it really is the same thing. It's just kind of dressed up differently. What I couldn't believe is that this hadn't been done before. I was like, but this is so needed. And anyway, I'm glad to be able to do it. And again, all of my books, ages 0 to 16, are all at McKellarMath.com. You can also get that link through the bio on my Instagram page. But yeah, no matter how old your kid is, you're struggling right now, especially you're concerned about the summer slide, which is a very real thing where kids forget stuff they learned over the year. I got you covered.
That is fantastic. We're going to throw a link to make that all very, very easy to find as well. Danica, thank you for taking the time, and thanks for doing what you're doing. I think this is really, really cool.
Thank you so much. My pleasure. Thank you for having me on.
Again, our guest today has been Danica McKellar, and thank you for listening on this Movie Star Monday.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. The new way is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day, or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-659-7805. That's 800-659-7805.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Kool-Aid was originally marketed as something different. What was the original name of Kool-Aid? Do you have any idea?
I have no idea.
I don't remember this. Ladies and gentlemen, here's your chance to be the smartest one. If you know the answer, shout it out. Let everybody know. What was Kool-Aid called before it was called Kool-Aid?
What was it?
I'm giving them a chance to tell so they can look like geniuses in front of their friends.
They had their chance. Don't give them a chance to Google it. What was the answer?
Kool-Aid was originally marketed as Fruit Smack.
Oh.
What?
I don't remember
Fruit
that.
Smack?
I don't remember.
Never, ever.
That must have been
heard
before
that.
our time.
Kool-Aid was
Kool-Aid has always
for
been
years.
around
So
yeah,
originally it was Fruit Smack. Now you know. Thanks for listening to today's fun fact. If you have a credit card, our friends at BetterCreditCards.com would like to make sure it's the best credit card for you. Take a few minutes to look at your current interest rate and then see what you get for points and perks. Then go to BetterCreditCards.com to see if they can help you find a better credit card. This will literally cost you nothing, and it could help you save money by getting a better credit card. Even if you don't have a credit card right now, you can check it out too at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com. Time now for a news headline from somewhere in this world, Dateline Canada. A landlord in Canada had a tenant that was behind on rent and removed the windows and doors from the home when this mother who lived in the home with her children was late on rent. They removed the windows and the doors. And it's like, I can't evict you, but I'm just going to take the windows and doors. That just seems really weird.
You know what, though? I feel for these
I do too.
landlords
Yeah,
that
where they've
still
got the
have to
rent-
continue to pay their bills
So
on
like,
the
okay,
property.
so there's a rent freeze. You don't have to pay me, but I
Right.
still have to pay for the property? Just a very bizarre story, and I would not have expected that from Canada. But that is a news headline from somewhere in this world.
If you take Viagra or Cialis, call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
Call 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. Again, that's 800-214-7977.
Time now for some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Massachusetts, in all best intentions, set up a hotline to enforce COVID safety guidelines. But instead of getting, helpful tips, it's filled with messages that are profanity, fake reports, some almost pornographic. Similar to what happened in April, by the way, when New York tried the same type of thing. Didn't take long for things to go downhill for the governor's compliance hotline. In a matter of hours, there were, this was you could text it in. So there were photos of, genitalia from an account dubbed Good German, whatever that means. Also, people calling it a rat line. Complaints of, I saw a dog without a mask. There's all kinds of people that were taking this. And
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, the whole thing is just bizarre. I've got a link to the story if you want to read all the details, but some of this is not safe for work and definitely not safe for radio. I've got a link to it, though. It's the Weird News, brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. A New Jersey man has been arrested after making terroristic threats at a Costco to a cashier during an aggressive rant, and it's on video. William Kamoff, I'm not sure how you say it exactly. He was arrested July 29th is when this all went down, so it's been a little while ago. He was cursing at an employee at the checkout, ordering her to, quote, shut up and ring up my stuff, end quote. Out of the frame, someone was asking him to back up. Someone was asking for backup from a manager, rather. He proceeded to say many lewd and inappropriate things, called her an old hag, an old
why? What
ugly
brought
hag.
this on? Do we know?
He says, ring it up. I'm not exactly sure. He was disgruntled about something. He's since been charged with terroristic threats, harassment, disorderly conduct, taken into custody. So I have no idea.
Something.
I don't know
happened.
what triggered the guy, but no matter what it is, you don't.
No, it's not okay.
Treat another human being that way.
I'm not even trying to condone that kind of behavior.
I just want to make sure that we go down that path and let people know you don't
just got
think
to
it's
wonder
okay.
what set him off.
I don't
That's
know.
not normal to
Yeah, I
just
have
be
no
like
idea.
all of a sudden treating somebody that way.
Super weird story, but that is today's moment of duh. Nobody wants to buy car insurance. It's not a fun thing to think about, but it's something you need if you want to drive your car. So even if you don't want to buy insurance, you probably have to get it from someone. So why not buy it from InsuranceChicken.com? Okay, I'll admit, our website name is dumb. InsuranceChicken.com. Yeah, our marketing department is not that great. But our selection of insurance options is amazing. See if we can save you money each month on our dumb website, InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com. Time now for Fake News or Florida. This is where I read a story, and my beautiful bride Heidi has to tell me, is this a true story from the great state of Florida, or is it fake news made up to trick you and amuse me? Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. A Florida McDonald's worker on probation for cocaine possession was arrested for dousing a customer with a soft drink during a dispute at a drive-thru. Fake news or Florida?
There's a lot going on
There is a lot going on.
I'm going to say Florida.
It is a true story. I actually remember reading that. I didn't remember the cocaine possession
No,
part.
I don't remember.
But
I remember somebody getting soda thrown at them, which sadly is not unusual.
Well, it's getting more and more normal, which is just bizarre.
Yeah, isn't it crazy?
Yeah. So I've got a link to that story if you want to read the details. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com, and I always love it when it's a positive police officer story. And the reason I'm going to say this, the reason that I like to share these is because so many times you hear negative police stories, and I think that it's good to share positive police stories.
Absolutely.
So thank you for sending this one over. Here is the story. A police officer in Lodi, California saved a man from an oncoming train with just seconds to spare. And there's video footage of this. 66-year-old man's wheelchair was stuck on the train tracks with no time to spare. An officer ran out, got out of her car,
awesome.
pulled him to safety just as the train passed. It's like a scene out of a movie. The man suffered a leg injury, was taken to the hospital, but he is alive because of this officer's heroic act. And the rescue was captured on her body cam. So you can actually see the video footage. I've got a link to that in the show notes for today. And the officer, Urea, is all that it says on here. So I don't know why they don't have the first name, or I don't know if that is a first or last name, but it says Officer Urea, Urrea.
Okay.
But super cool that this happened. I've got a link to the story. Like I said, you can see the video, you can see the story, you can see all of it in the show notes.
And this
for
happens
today.
daily.
Oh yeah, people
all over the world. Law enforcement officers,
maybe not pulling people out of the path of an oncoming
but
train,
risking their
saving
lives,
Yeah,
daily,
absolutely,
in order to save somebody else's life. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's why I think it would be great if more of this were shared. And I understand when something bad happens, that needs to be shared too.
Exactly.
But something
it
good
is
happens
such
every day.
a rare incident when something super negative happens involving an officer. But how many times a day
I would love to
are
see
there
this.
super heroic stories?
I would love to see this go viral. I would love to see
absolutely.
more people every day shining
God bless
the spotlight
them.
on
Thank
this.
you all so much for
It's a
the
great
tireless and unappreciated work that you do daily.
It's appreciated. Just maybe not by everybody, but it's appreciated by many. I've got a link to that story in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday.